TV News Express. AFN condemns act of citizens taking up arms. Inspector General of Police attached to Yahaya Bello. Governor Enor constitutes flood mitigation committee after federal government's alerts on the foreign saying oil jumps 3% as Israel strikes Iran, others in Middle East. And in sports, Super Eagles to get new coach in 2 weeks, as according to Sports Minister. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television or live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uya Mofwebe. Our sincere apologies for bringing the News Express behind schedule. We do appreciate your understanding. We begin by telling you President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his administration's resolve to pursue a comprehensive economic security framework for the country while addressing foundational challenges and creating fair and equitable system in which all Nigerians can thrive. The president stated these while hosting leaders of Afenifere, the Apex Yoruba Socio-Cultural Group at the State House in Abuja. Kikelemo Okere has the rest of the story.
Of Afenifere leaders. The president says his administration is re-engineering Nigerian finances and seeking to boost the purchase power of citizens and spread prosperity down the line by instituting a credit system where the element of cash is not an impediment to a significantly enhanced standard of living for all citizens, adding that Nigeria must secure itself economically first before it can achieve any of its more sophisticated objectives.
We have the solid mirror that has attracted a lot of insecurities, scavenging, and others. Then we have special forces that is facing that now. We will have an effective forest guards that will be, fully in control of our forests in the country.
Speaking on the security, the president declared that those who threaten the sovereignty of Nigeria will pay a heavy price.
From hosting flags on the Nigerian properties and sovereignty, we have degraded terrorism to a level that they could not threaten the sovereignty of this country any longer.
Earlier in his remark, His Royal Majesty Oba Olufalaye commended the president for his courageous decision and for the rehabilitation of the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, as well as other critical ongoing projects. He urged the president not to relent in ensuring fairness and equity for all Nigerians, while noting the importance of a constitutional amendment to devolve more powers to states. President Tinubu, however, thanked the esteemed delegation for their prayers and support, assuring them that he will not relent in his resolve to advance Nigeria. Kikelemo Okere, Global Television News.
Well, thank you, Kike. The for our state government has banned all political office holders and heads of agencies from conducting any interview, issuing statements, or airing programs on radio, television, and social media without seeking permission from the authority. The government also warned media organizations based in the state to desist from conducting or airing any radio or television program without the approval of Ministry of Information. The State's Commissioner of Information, Manero Haidara, said the Information Ministry was highly committed to observing and monitoring all radio stations for compliance. The Armed Forces of Nigeria has condemned the act of citizens taking up arms, saying it is unacceptable and against a constituted government. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made this known at a strategic meeting with journalists in Abuja, saying anyone or group that contravenes the provision of the Constitution is inviting severe military action and will be dealt with decisively. Let's join Kikelemo Okere for details.
While keeping the journalists abreast with the activities of the troops in the theaters of operations. In the last 2 weeks, the Director of Defense Media Operations urged the civil populace and civil society to galvanize support in a whole-of-society approach to facilitate a total defeat of terrorists in the country, adding that the military is working decisively to kill the terrorists, dismantle their networks, and create conditions whereby they cannot carry out acts of terror or harm the citizens.
Accordingly, it is unacceptable for any person or groups to take up arms against the country. And anyone or group that takes up arms against the country, be sure that you are inviting military action, and we will decisively take actions to deal with you. The one that happened in Ibadan, are very fortunate that we did not get to the scene as the first responders. Wearing uniform and carrying arms, you're a dead man. And now I'm speaking from the military point of view on these matters.
In the week under review, the director reels out that troops neutralized 192 terrorists and arrested 341 persons while rescuing 62 kidnapped hostages.
3 PKT guns, 15 fabricated guns, over 900 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among others.
Troops in the Niger Delta area discovered and destroyed 99 dugout pits, 36 storage tanks, and 192 cooking ovens. During the process, the troops recovered 349,970 liters of stolen crude oil and 112,135 liters of illegal refined automotive gas oil.
The troops destroyed illegal refining sites. Troops arrested illegal bunkers in Udu and Ethiopia West local government area of Delta State. Thereafter, troops conducted raid operations to southern Niger and Akinima local government areas of Bayelsa and Rivers States. Overall, the troops of Operation Delta Sea recovered over 790,000 liters.
The Military High Command says it will continue to fight and defeat the enemies so as to create a safer environment for citizens. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Let's turn to other stories for you. Governor Umo Eno of Akwa Ibom State has constituted a committee to interface with relevant government agencies to propose necessary actions to mitigate the effect of an impending flood in the state. The committee was set up 2 days after the federal government had issued an alert warning that at least 31 states in the country, including Akwa Ibom State, were at risk of severe flooding. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, who gave the warning, said that 148 local government areas across 32 states were among the high flood risk areas for 2024. The traditional ruler of Sansani Chiefdom in Gasol local government area of Taraba State, Alhaji Abdulmutalib Jakanda, has been shot dead by gunmen inside his palace. It was learned that the gunmen invaded his palace while resting after the day's activities and shot him during the attack. The assailants, who rode into Sansani town on motorcycles, sneaked into the palace, went straight to a room where the monarch was sitting and shot him several times, seizing his phones afterwards. The late traditional ruler was said to be buried today after prayers according to Islamic rites. Quite a sad story there. Amidst discussions on national security strategies and welfare initiatives, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, has emphasized that the Nigerian Army would stop at nothing to neutralize the activities of terrorists. At the closing ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff's First Quarter Conference 2024, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja issued a stern warning to criminal elements across Nigeria. Again, Kike Lomo Okere has more.
The first quarter conference provides the top brass of the Nigerian Army an opportunity to brainstorm and appraise the Nigerian Army's activities so far this year. With an unwavering determination to combat crime, Lieutenant General Lagbaja underscores the Army's readiness to confront any threat to national security head-on. The Chief of Army Staff's warning served as a reminder of the Army's commitment to protecting the nation and its citizens from all forms of criminality.
Is the case with our quarterly conferences. This first quarter conference has provided the top brass of the Nigerian Army an opportunity to brainstorm and appraise the Nigerian Army's activities so far this year. It equally enabled us to confirm the level of implementation of decisions taken during the annual conference held in Maiduguri in December last year, and I'm happy to report that our findings have been largely satisfactory. I'm particularly happy that the conference organizers have sustained participation. They have carefully selected middle cadre officers and the leadership of our senior non-commissioned officers. As expected, these past 3 days have afforded us quality time to again review our training, operational and administrative activities that directly relate to security issues crucial to our nation and external environment.
The Army Chief reiterated the Army's commitment to work collaboratively with sister service and security agencies to ensure the security of all Nigerians. He further acknowledged the invaluable support of law-abiding citizens and urged them to continue to support the Army in its efforts to create a safe environment conducive to good governance and economic prosperity.
I'm not in doubt that the Nigerian Army is blessed with competent and committed personnel at all levels to ensure a substantial level of success that can help create the enabling environment necessary for good governance and economic prosperity.
As the conference came to a close, the Army boss message echoes a call to action, urging all stakeholders to unite in the fight against crime for a safer and more prosperous Nigeria. The high point of the event was the presentation of commendation plaques to 7 commanders so as to encourage them in their respective duties. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The authority of the Nigerian Army has released the monarch, Prince Clement Ikolo Oganekorore, who had been declared wanted a few weeks ago over the killing of 17 military personnel that were killed in Delta State. Briefing journalist in Abuja, Chief of Army Staff, who was represented by Director Army Public Relations Oyema Wanchiku, said the decision was taken after due investigation, which revealed that there was insufficient evidence to indict the embattled king. Sharon Ajay has more.
Handing over him to the senator representing Delta Central at Army headquarters, the Army spokesman Oyema Nwachukwu says the monarch is released after the intervention of the senator representing Delta Central, who testified to the decent character of the monarch, adding that the Army has not exonerated anybody regarding the incident, but decided to release the monarch after intervention of highly placed personality in the society and painstakingly review done by the Nigerian Army.
It has been decided that His Highness be released to the distinguished senator who has agreed to act as surety for his release on the condition that he will always assist the Nigerian Army and other agencies of government investigating the Iwam killing incident to have access to the monarch whenever needed. The Nigerian Army, therefore, hereby releases the Honorable His Royal Highness Clement Ikolo Oganekorore to the King of Ewu Kingdom, to distinguished Senator Stafilon, representing Delta Central, as a responsible national political figure.
In the remark, the monarch of Iwu Kingdom in Delta State applauds the Nigerian army for the treatment given to him while he was in custody.
The entire Senate of Nigeria, the House of Rep, the army, I really want to thank the army, especially the facility where I was. The commanding officer was amazing. And the people there, the service they gave was really good. They looked after me, and they did so well. I also want to thank the intelligence, the Nigerian Army Intelligence Corps, the chief of the intelligence corps. I want to thank him, for all looking after me.
In his remark, the senator representing Delta Central assured that he will avail the monarch once he is needed for interaction.
But I would like to emphasize that the king has been treated in a professional manner. Access to medicine, Bible, and other comforts are made available. Lastly, I'd like to formally state that, as the General mentioned earlier, the king is being handed over to my care, and I will, of course, make him available should they require any further interaction with him to assist with the investigations.
It could be recalled that the Military High Command has earlier launched manhunt for the arrest of those who perpetrated the Dastardly Act, the development that has made residents of Okwama to desert the community. The high point of the event was the signing of the short form by the senator representing Delta Central. Sharna J. reporting for Global TV News.
Sharna J. there following developments with regards to the Okwama killing story. Let's stay with security now. The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetoku, has withdrawn all police officers attached to the embattled former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. The Nigerian Immigration Service had earlier placed the former governor on its watch list after the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had declared him wanted in connection with an alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. A federal high court in Abuja has discharged and acquitted former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Mohammed Adoke of the money laundering charges brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Presiding Judge Justice Yang Ekwo, while delivering a ruling on a no-case submission filed by the former AGF, held that the EFCC failed to establish a prima facie sufficient evidence case against him. In the charge, the anti-graft agency had alleged that Adoke, sometime in August 2013 in Abuja, accepted a cash payment of the dollar equivalent of 300 million naira from Abubakar, thereby committing an offense punishable under Section 16, subsection 2B of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended. The immediate past governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has failed in his bid to quash the 4 billion naira theft charges filed against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Justice Yang Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja dismissed the preliminary objection filed by Obiano to challenge the powers of the commission to try him. The judge, however, granted Obiano's prayer for the release of his passport to enable him embark on a medical trip. Justice Ekwo, while adjourning till June 27 for the commencement of trial, says Obiano must return his passport to the courts on his return from the medical trip. The National Executive Committee in NEC of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has asked Umar Damagum to continue as the acting national chairman of the party pending the election of a new chairman in August. Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, said this when he briefed journalists shortly after the 98th NEC meeting of the party in Abuja. Mohammed added that the successful conduct of the party's NEC meeting was an indication that there was no dissension and rancor within the leadership. Officials of the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources have seized styrofoam feed parks across markets in different local government areas of the state. State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, disclosed this in photos and a video shared on his X handle. Wahab further stated that all the seized items will be burnt. He noted that all the seized items have been evacuated to Marine TLS in Bolade, Oshodi for incineration. In January, the Lagos State government, through the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, had announced the ban on the use and distribution of styrofoam and other single-use plastics across the state. You're watching News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When the news returns, 7.3 trillion naira remitted to Federation accounts in 6 months. We'll have details of this and more for you if you stay with us right after the break. On the foreign scene now, Australia has told its citizens to leave Israel if possible, citing the high threat of military reprisals and terrorist attacks, issuing a similar warning for the Palestinian territories. Australia's government had previously told citizens to avoid travel to both areas if possible and, if concerned, to leave. This became more urgent. Warning came as Israel and Iran traded direct aerial barrages, dramatically escalating animosities after years of indirect and covert clashes. And that's all I can bring to you on the news here. Thank you everyone for watching. I am Muyi Agmofwebe. At top of the hour, 5 o'clock Nigerian time, we'll bring you the desk. I'll see you again.